What's good, guys? Welcome back to the 19th episode of the Miami Dolphins franchise. We are in the AFC Conference Championship going up against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. If you missed last episode, please go watch it. It's the first episode where we play a game in the playoffs versus the Colts. So I really hope you guys go and watch that. And again, if you want to watch the entire series, you can click on the playlist in the card above me, or just click on my channel, click playlist, and you can watch the entire series from the beginning to see how we got here. Now on the game, there's big news as I believe Teron Armstead is back from injury, which is so huge. That's our best offensive lineman by a mile, and he's back to play against the Chargers. You love to see it. We also have a weekly award. I would assume it's Tua, as it is Tua Tagovailoa. 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 14 for 19, 260 passing yards. You love to see that from Tua, having a player of the week in the divisional round in the playoffs. You love to see that. Now we will get right into the weekly strategy. The goal here is to limit, even though Austin Ekeler is a very good running back, we want to limit Justin Herbert and his arm. So let's actually limit his deep pass just to keep everything in front of us. Offensively, they do have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, so we're going to be doing blitz counter, obviously to counter those two guys as they are just elite at their position. For the game plan goals, let's throw 2 touchdown passes, sack the QB 3 times. Let's get 3 passing touchdowns, or we can actually do no turnovers today because obviously that's what we want to do. And let's do don't allow sack just because we are going against those 2 big edge rushers. So if our offensive line can step up, it would be huge. It's a huge deal that Teron Armstead is back because he's going to provide so much value, especially with both those edge rushers coming off of both sides. And that is why we are doing those goals, so we can just back out of here and start the training, hoping for no injuries as normal. And I'm so excited to play this game as we start off with the offense. I'm so excited to play this game, to play against Justin Herbert versus Tua Tagovailoa. If this was real life, the storylines would be going crazy. Everyone would be so interested in this game. This is a prime game for the NFL and for a bunch of the fans, especially for Miami Dolphins fan and a Los Angeles Chargers fan because of the whole Tua versus Herbert narrative. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. They're 11-6, we're 14-3. They have an 84 overall offense, 87 defense, 85 overall. Obviously, we are 88 across the board. Their top players, Khalil Mack, who had 17 sacks this year. But with all that being said, we're gonna head to Hard Rock Stadium for a night game in the AFC Conference Championship versus Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. As you can see, we are rocking the normal teal jerseys. That's why I'm rocking that in real life. Got my Waddle jersey on. Tua Tagovailoa tossing the pigskin as we watch him warm up. This should be a huge game, him versus Herbert. I'm so excited to play this game. I'm so excited to see how this goes. This should be a really tough team to face in Madden because of Herbert's arm and their 2 big receivers and Austin Ekeler and their defense and their edge rushers. Like, this is a prime Madden team. So this should be a very, very fun game to play as we watch both teams come out of the tunnel. We do have the home stadium advantage, which you love to see. Tua breaking it down, Justin Herbert breaking it down on each sideline. Let's do this. Dolphins, Chargers, AFC Championship. Let's get it. As we will start by kicking off the ball to Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. As we do that, now I assume, okay, so he's going to take it out here. Usually Shane Tindall trying to get down on this kickoff. We can't make a tackle, and this is not good. Thank God we made the tackle at the 30-yard line. That is huge, as Justin Herbert will run onto the field to lead his team wearing the predominantly white jerseys. 27 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, but he did have 4,600 yards. That's a great number of yards. I'm just surprised at the touchdown to interception ratio, if I'm being honest, just because you would think that it would be higher and it would be better. I'm not going to go as far as other Dolphins fans talking about how Tua is better than Herbert. That's just not the case. And Herbert is a top 10 quarterback, around a top 10 quarterback, so it is really weird that he didn't perform as well in the sim, just because you would think he would do a little bit better. I presume they are going to run the ball, which is what they do, and a great tackle there from Jalen Phillips, but I believe Austin Ekeler still did get the first down. But that is an awesome tackle from Jalen Phillips. You love to see that from the opposite side. He has come to play these playoffs for sure as they continue with the run with Austin Ekeler, and they are definitely using it as Ekeler is running all over us right now. A huge stiff arm from Austin Ekeler. That brings up 2nd and short already as the Chargers offense hasn't even used Herbert, and Austin Eckler is getting going. I guess that's what happens when you do defend deep pass and not defend the run or something like that. The running backs could go crazy. He has 4 rushes for 29 yards already on their first drive. We're going to continue to send the heat here as we will use your Javon Holland over to the tight end. Let's use your Jerome Baker on this. Let's see if we can get some pressure as he finds number 5, I believe that's Josh Palmer, and they're going to score on their first drive as Brandon Jones could not stay in coverage, and the Chargers strike first, putting up 7 points as it is Josh Palmer, a fellow Canadian, putting up a touchdown for the Los Angeles Chargers as they strike first in Hard Rock Stadium, going up 7-0. As we will return it from just outside the goal line with River Craycraft, and he does get past the 25-yard line as Tua Tagovailoa will trot his way onto the field after talking with Mike McDaniel. Let's see what his stats are looking like as he joins the offensive huddle, as he locks in with Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert. I guess they're not showing us his stats. I have no idea what happened there, but it's whatever. To be honest, we could have asked for a little bit better on that first drive as they put up 7. That's the worst we could have done, so not great here, but we're going to start off with the play action with Tua Tagovailoa. He's going to roll it to his left. He has Waddle underneath. Can he make the catch? Jalen Waddle makes the catch. The man on my jersey makes the first catch. 1 for 1, 26 yards. Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle. And now let's start attacking with this run game. This might be a shootout as they scored really quickly on their first possession as well. Teron Armstead being back, it's such a welcome addition. Welcome back, Teron. You love to see it. Let's continue with the run game. Let's get Chase Edmonds involved quickly here. Robert Hunt, let's see you pull to that left side, get a block, and let's get going here with Chase Edmonds. Robert Hunt with a nice block. We get it to the outside. Tyreek with a nice block as well. And Edmonds is off to the races, and he scores a touchdown. Chase Edmonds with a touchdown to tie the game 7-7 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Look at this replay here. Chase Edmonds off to the races. A great block from Robert Hunt. A great block from Waddle. A great block from Tyreek. And Chase Edmonds is off to the races, and he finishes with the touchdown. You love to see that for our complimentary running back. He's one of my favorite players on the team. And Mike McDaniel celebrating with him, the run game working, as we will tie this game 7-7 with this extra point. You love to see this. We hit the extra point easily. 7-7, Hard Rock Stadium. We got a tie game. An electric start for both teams as we score really quickly. They score really quickly. We do it with the run. They do it with the pass. This was an incredible start to this game as Xavier Howard cannot stick with, I believe that's Keenan Allen, as Herbert gets his second pass, 2 for 2 for 46 yards and a touchdown. That's Keenan Allen's first reception. We do need Xavier to do well on him. Eric Rowe is on Keenan Allen right now, going to use your Javon Holland. We're going to help on Eric Rowe as they continue to do well in the pass game, 3 for 3, 64 yards and a touchdown as they continue to do well out of that mesh concept. We really need to contain the pass as that's what our goal was anyway, as both of these guys are going crazy. Why is Austin Eckler blocking for number 40? How is this happening? What is going on with their play? Is that a play in their playbook where they have Austin Eckler blocking for him, as I believe that is their backup running back in? And I'm going to give you a peek behind the curtain here. I have no idea why it's not Austin Eckler, and I'll even tell you why. At the beginning of the game, so no plays were affected because I didn't want to have to do that in the middle of the game because I want everything to go smoothly. I want everything to go like as well as it could. I made sure I didn't touch anything right on the first play for the Chargers before it even happened. I quit the game and came back in to prevent the fatigue issue from happening. But it seems like even with that, it's still happening. So after this play, we will quit again and see if we can keep Austin Eckler in this game because it has him playing at fullback and not running back, which is so stupid. As right there, I believe they are going to be punting the ball on 4th and 3. So during this punt, I'll quit the game. Basically, what happens when you quit during the play is we'll go back to that play. So basically, we'll miss nothing. I'll show you what I mean now because now they started the punt, so we can quit the game. Again, I've done this so many times in solo franchises because this always happens. And Madden always says they fix it, but they never do. But what I'm going to do here is let's go in and let's go back again. I'm resuming. The stats are saving. We're going to go right back to that punt. You'll see it's going to be right back to that punt. And hopefully Eckler's in the game. The reason I'm thinking this is so weird is because that's what I did last game too, to keep Jonathan Taylor in the game. I have no idea why this happened this time because I quit at the beginning of the game to make sure to avoid this. Like that's what I did. I didn't show it because I wanted to keep it out of the video and make sure like everything ran smoothly. but that's what I did at the beginning of the game, so nothing was affected by it. As you can see, we're back to the punt. They just punted out of bounds to the 23-yard line. So it was the same play as everything before. And I hope that this does bring Austin Ekeler back onto the field. But if not, they were using their backup running back. It made no sense. So hopefully that did fix it. We'll go right back to the run with Chase Edmonds. I'm going to try not to think about that. I am really sorry about you guys having to see that, because I wanted you guys to not have to see that so that the realism can stay and the immersion can stay, and that's why I didn't show it and I quit at the beginning of the game so that Austin Ekeler would stay in the game. But somehow that didn't even fix it, which is definitely a little bit worrisome for me, because if quitting doesn't work, then we're just not going to see Austin Ekeler. Then there's literally nothing I can do to keep Austin Ekeler in the game if Raheem Mostert finds the edge, and a big hit from Derwin James, the X-Factor safety, but Raheem Mostert bounces back up. You love to see that. We'll go right back to the run game with Chase Edmonds. I apologize for having to do that, but this time I obviously did show it just because I want to show you what's going on. But Madden, you need to fix your game. Please, God, fix your game, because this is really getting annoying, especially when you're making me quit games just to get the fatigue rate. And now I quit a game to get the fatigue rate, and it's still not working. So even the fix, which, by the way, you shouldn't even have to do a fix. It just should not be in the game. Even the fix didn't work because they still had their running back in who was under fatigue. So what are they doing with their auto subs or whatever? It makes no sense if Raheem Mostert tries to get the first down, but he only gets 3 yards, and it is 3rd and 1. Let's see if we can get right back into seeing us run this mesh concept on this play on this 3rd and 1. Tyreek going deep, and we have a bunch of options underneath as well, as I do like Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe underneath as he takes a hit from Jackson, but he gets right up, and that's another good throw from Tua Tagovailoa. Let's go right to the RPO play. Let's see if that cornerback drops off. If not, we're just going to give it right to Raheem Mostert, as he did stick with Tyreek Hill, so we will go with the outside run, and I think that's a penalty on Jalen Waddle, so I don't think this great run, honestly, it's a great run with a bunch of good blocks from Raheem Mostert. I don't think it's going to stand because it looked like Waddle did do an illegal block from the back, as he did. As he could have just not touched him and would have had a touchdown. So Jalen Waddle, you really need to do better than that. I got you on the jersey right now. You cannot be doing that because you just took away a touchdown for Raheem Mostert and this Miami Dolphins team in the playoffs. So let's cut this up the middle. Good blocks from all of our guys, and we get a bunch of solid yards there. But it's just not the same as a touchdown. So we need to make sure that Jalen Waddle is not doing that, as he will be out there on a block again. Can we get the playoff? No, we can't. So that will bring us to the end of the first quarter, tied 7-7 against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's see if we can keep going. Let's run this RPO play where we have a bunch of options. We have Raheem Mostert, Mike Gesicki, and Jalen Waddle. Mike Gesicki open on that out route, and Tua Tagovailoa throws a pick, and he might be gone for the pick six. That was a bad decision by me. And now can Mostert catch up? Can Cedric Wilson catch up? Yes, he can, as we prevent the touchdown. We prevent the pick six, as Nasir Adderley picks off Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa's first interception of the playoffs. You hate to see that. You never want to be throwing turnovers in the playoffs, and that puts them right in the driver's seat in the red zone, as Austin Ekeler will walk it in, as he's thankfully back in the game for the Los Angeles Chargers, and they go up 14-7. Clearly a bad decision by me with that throw. I'm not going to lie, if it was a little bit more accurate, I feel like it would have been fine, but unfortunately Tua threw it a bit off, so that is what happened. I still feel like it was obviously it's a bad throw because it's an interception, and it wasn't a great throw from Tua or myself. Maybe it wasn't the greatest decision, but even though it wasn't maybe the greatest decision, you would still think it might have been better than the outcome that it had. I thought it might be an incompletion, but to be honest, I thought that if that was on the money, that's a first down, but that is an interception, which leads to an Austin Ekeler touchdown on a walk-in run. So that is really unfortunate. Hopefully Tua can make up for that on this drive, as we are down for the first time in the playoffs, it feels like, as Tyreek is open underneath. And that's a good ball from Tua Tagovailoa. He's 3 for 4 for 45 yards and a touchdown, going right back to Chase Edmonds. He's getting a heavy dose of the workload just because he has been great running the ball in this game. Let's cut this back with Chase Edmonds, as look at that cutback ability, man. He's been running the ball so well in the playoffs. 5 rushes for 77 yards already, and we'll go right back to Raheem Mostert on this stretch play, mixing it up, going to the right side now, hoping to get Durham Smythe and Alec Ingold out there on some blocks. Alec Ingold, go get that block for me, thank you. And we do only get a couple of yards on that play, but it would have been stopped in the backfield if not for that Alec Ingold block, so we love to see that. Let's run this jet fake pass zone play. Let's see if we can get going on one of these trick plays kind of things. As let's see what we can do. As Cedric Wilson gets the ball underneath, a good block from Tyreek Hill. We turn up the field to get the first down with Cedric Wilson. That's a nice play there from Cedric Wilson on that little toss play. And with the toss play, we'll go right to the pitch, and we'll continue to do these little kind of weird plays. We'll toss the ball back to Raheem Mostert, get some blocks out there. Austin Jackson, get out there. As unfortunately, we do not get as many yards as you would hope for on a pitch play like that. So we'll go back to on 2nd and 8. Let's take a shot here with this fade smash. See if Waddle or Tyreek can get open down the field. And I'm actually going to put Cedric Wilson on a drag because I want to have somebody underneath as an option. So let's do that. As Tyreek does look open, secure catch, and a great route from Tyreek Hill, and a great throw back shoulder to Tyreek Hill. That's a great throw there from our QB1 as he tries to make up for that unfortunate turnover. But that's a great throw to Tyreek Hill, trusting his elite wide receiver. As we have Edmonds underneath, and he has room to run. He cuts it back again. Just a cutback machine in this game. That makes it 2nd and inches as we will try and punch this up for the first down with Sony Michel, as they are going to run a run-stopping package, but we're going to see if we can just get right through it as he bounces out to the right, but unfortunately, they do make the tackle, which brings up 3rd and 2, and this is a big 3rd and 2, so let's hopefully run this. Let's run this bench switch play, see if we can get Tyreek or Waddle open on one of these routes going to the outside, not even touching the middle, as Tyreek is wide open to the corner of the end zone. Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill, and we tie the game 14-14. Let's go Tua Tagovailoa. Austin Eckler back onto the field, thankfully, as we will use your Jerome Baker as they do run the ball, as there is still 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this first half, tied 14-14. Austin Eckler with 6 rushes, 43 yards, and a touchdown. As we do have more passing yards, but they have been great, and it's just that turnover by Tua Tagovailoa that can't be happening. Running the QB spy with Justin Herbert, he makes a nice throw to his tight end, and a good tackle from Xavier Howard and Nick Needham. Justin Herbert remains perfect, 5 for 5 for 80 yards and a touchdown, trying to show why he should have been the pick for the Miami Dolphins, as that will be a storyline in this game. This is going to decide a lot of people's kind of decisions on Justin Herbert and Tua Tagovailoa, just because it is an AFC Conference Championship game between those two quarterbacks. And you know how people are. They're going to make rash decisions based off this game and based off this game alone. So this does mean a lot as he goes to Austin Eckler underneath. He shakes off a tackle from Javon Holland and Byron Jones, but at least it did force him out of bounds, as Austin Eckler continues to have a great role in this game for the Los Angeles Chargers, as that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. And honestly, it's been a great game, 14-14. Slowed down a little bit after that 2 interception, but we do come right back with the touchdown. And now they will start with this 2-minute drill, going to blitz off the edge with Brandon Jones with this DB safety blitz coming off the right side. As Austin Eckler does come back on the screen, they do get a block. Xavier Howard can't make the tackle, as Austin Eckler continues to break tackles as he runs out of bounds without being taken off his feet, as he continues to shake off tackles like he does in real life, man. Just such a hard guy to bring down, using Javon Holland on Austin Eckler now, as they are running a screen, and Javon Holland with a crazy interception with a user lurk for Javon Holland. I came up there with him because I was using him. I read out that it was a screen, and watch him come up and make this diving interception to intercept Justin Herbert. What a play by our premium safety, a premium safety in the NFL. Javon Holland versus Derwin James. That's actually a very cool positional matchup for both of these teams. But wow, what an interception from Javon Holland. Tua Tagovailoa 5 for 5 for 56 yards on that last drive, as he really responds after throwing interceptions in real life and in the game. It looks like in real life he's always amazing and makes up for his turnovers, but what a play there from Javon Holland, as we have Chase Edmonds underneath. Unfortunately, he does not go low to get the ball, but it does stop the clock because we are running a predominantly pass offense with it being the 2-minute warning. Let's see if we can run a screen pass and not turn the ball over, using Chase Edmonds and his receiving ability as a running back, as he gets stuck on Teron Armstead, which brings up 3rd and 10. This has been a messy start to this game. Let's run this halfback wheel play, see if Tyree can get open down the field, or maybe it's Waddle on these post routes. As I do see Tyreek Hill down the field. Does he burn his man? Yes, he does. In stride, he breaks a tackle, and that's a touchdown. 21-14. Tua Tagovailoa with a deep ball to Tyreek Hill to take the lead in a split second. Anything can happen when you have Tyreek Hill. What a bomb from Tua Tagovailoa. Hits him in stride, right in the bread basket, and Tyreek Hill walks in for the touchdown. You love to see it. Breaks a tackle at the end there to push it into the end zone. What a play, as we will go up 21-14, but the Chargers do have a chance to respond before the end of the half. Running the cover 2 man here, using Jevon Holland, the star from last defensive drive, with that interception. Let's see what we can do, as we will use her over the top here, as he does throw a nice ball to Keenan Allen. That's an amazing catch, because I think that was actually meant for the underneath receiver, but he actually did get the catch from Austin Ekeler. As they're running play action, they have a guy wide open down the middle. We'll cover him with Jevon Holland. Justin Herbert with all the time in the world, and he throws it up to nobody, as he actually had Keenan Allen open, but he did just miss him. That's a throw that Justin Herbert, you would think, would make, but in that case, unfortunately, he misses Keenan Allen. Bit of a miscommunication there on the broken play. Using Jerome Baker, trying to get some pressure on Justin Herbert. He throws it up as Xavier Howard gets burnt in coverage a little bit, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what is it for and who it's on, as it looks like it is holding on the Chargers offense, which will bring that play back. Anyways, that makes it 2nd and 20 instead of 1st and 10, which is huge. 1 minute left in this second quarter and the second half. Using Brandon Jones on this right side. Seeing what we can do, is it's another play action and another good catch from their running back, or fullback that might be. I cannot tell. I believe that's their fullback, Gabe Neighbors, which it is. As we are using Channing Tindall over the middle, back to the pass for Herbert, as he does find Keenan Allen, and Jevon Holland can't make the tackle. Hopefully Brandon Jones can. Keenan Allen does get out of bounds. That's a very nice play by Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert. Let's continue to run this cover 1 nickel play, and we're going to use your Channing Tindall on this receiver, just because I don't love Channing Tindall beyond receiver in general, but because he is, we'll use him as we were trying to get deep. And another good catch, as that is Mike Williams with a catch, and Channing Tindall with the tackle, as they call their first time out, because apparently somehow Mike Williams did not get out of bounds as they are driving down this field, trying to tie this game up before we get the ball in the second half. As never mind, that was Eric Ebron. I apologize. That's Eric Ebron with that catch. Channing Tindall over the middle, using the rookie in his first playoff game. As let's see, no one open. He does have Austin Ekeler underneath, but a nice tackle attempt by Nick Needham, because he couldn't bring him down. And it seems like it takes 3 guys to bring down Austin Ekeler, just because of how he runs the ball and catches the ball and runs with the ball. He's just a guy who's tough to bring down, like I said. Setting some heat on this 2nd and 2 play, trying to get pressure before Justin Herbert can throw the ball. Running with Jerome Baker, he does throw the ball, but it is great coverage there by Brandon Jones, as that's a nice play there. 3rd and 2 for the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a very important play, because if we can hold them to a field goal, that would be huge. I'm actually going to drop back into the zone. I don't want to run a cover 2 in the cover 3. Just keep everything in front of us and not let them score a touchdown, hopefully. As he does have Keenan Allen open, but Brandon Jones makes a nice tackle, a stout tackle, as that will make them use their timeout after wasting a bunch of seconds after doing the no huddle, which is weird. I wonder if they're just going to kick a field goal. No, they're not. They're going to try and get a play off here, because now they have 0 timeouts to rely on getting that field goal. We're going to send some pressure with Channing Tindall. Let's see if we can get some pressure to Justin Herbert, as we can't. He has someone wide open, but it's Jevon Holland with his 2nd interception, making a crazy play. That time, that wasn't even me. That's just Jevon Holland making a crazy play. He had someone wide open who found the hole in the zone, and he just missed him. He straight up missed him. He had someone wide open in the hole of the defense. He's sitting there waiting there for the ball. It's a missed throw from Justin Herbert, and Jevon Holland gets his 2nd interception of the game. You love to see it. With 12 seconds left, we are not even going to attempt to try and do anything here. We'll just run the ball once with Sony Michel. He does actually get a nice run, but apparently there is an injury timeout, I would assume, but never mind. It's a penalty, as there's a holding call on that play, so we will have to run one more play. Doesn't really matter though, just because again, we are just going to be running this ball to end the clock here, just because we don't want to try anything. There's only 7 seconds left. There's no point in even doing something that might end up in a turnover and a touchdown going the other way. So we will just run the ball. A nice block there. Never mind, not a nice block there from Connor Williams. And that will take us to the end of the first half, as we are up 21-14, and we get the ball to start the second half. You wouldn't have thought that we would do that, because, to be honest, it looked like the Chargers were about to tie the game up, but Justin Herbert misses his guy in the end zone wide open, and Jevon Holland comes over for the interception. What a great play. Just to give you a look on the other side, it looks like Green Bay will be headed to the Super Bowl, as they are up 14 at the half versus Arizona, or maybe that is the final. That probably is the final, actually. Never mind. So Green Bay is headed to the championship, as they are up, or they just won 35-20. That seems like a final score. So 35-21 for the Packers over the Cardinals to get to the Super Bowl. It's funny, they finally trade Devontae Adams and then they make the Super Bowl again, which is really funny to think about. And it's funny because the Cardinals were leading the league. They had the same record as us, or maybe a slightly better record, and they were leading the NFC the entire time, as they had the best record of the NFC for the whole season, but they get upset by the Devontae Adams-less Packers, as we will set the offensive focus to blitz counter again, just because I think that's what we need to do. And we're just going to keep on defending the deep passes, because if we do score on this first drive, we will go up big and they will be forced to pass it deep, and we want to defend that with all of our ability. Tua Tagovailoa back on the field. I was going to start with the run, but I'm actually going to take a shot on the play action. See if Tyreek Hill can get open deep. Never mind, there's a blocker on us, and he does get the sack as Khalil Mack makes an impact as he gets the first sack for the Los Angeles Chargers. I was trying to roll out to the left and just get it to Raheem Mostert underneath, but unfortunately Khalil Mack on that left side just does a great job to get the sack onto a Tagovailoa. We're going to go back to the run with Raheem Mostert. He gets to the outside and he turns upfield for the first down. I was going to say if Jalen Waddle could get that block, we get the first down, but Raheem Mostert says it doesn't even matter if he gets the block. I'm going to turn up the field and get this first down. As let's continue, Tyreek Hill does have his X factor, so we do want to take advantage of that, as he does not seem to be open. As let's just roll out with Tua Tagovailoa and run out of bounds with him, not take a hit stick or something from Derwin James as we get 6 yards on that play. Not trying to risk anything when we don't have to. We'll go right back to Chase Edmonds, who has been running the ball great. He might be our running back one in this game just because of how good he's been cutting it back, as we will cut it back again and try and juke back in, as that's a nice tackle there from Khalil Mack. 6 rushes for 80 yards and a touchdown, which brings up 3rd and 1. This is a huge 3rd down. Let's give the ball to Alec Ingold on this 3rd and 1. I feel great about that. Want to keep him involved because he's just been so good. Let's see if he can power it up the middle for the first down. Yes, he can. I believe that is enough for the first down. He did get 2 yards, so it is 1st and 10 for the Miami Dolphins. Great job there from Alec Ingold. You love to see that. Going right back to Chase Edmonds just because he has been so great, as we will give him the ball on this inside zone. Good block there from Tyreek Hill, and a big hit stick from Khalil Mack, but Chase Edmonds does a great job to hang on to the ball. Bring up 2nd and 6. We will run this close play actions corners play, looking for Tyreek down the field, or Jalen Waddle over the intermediate part of the field as well. As Jalen Waddle is wide open, as we'll throw that over the linebacker. Jalen Waddle will cut it back through, and he will score a touchdown. The man on my jersey, as we go up 28-14 on the Los Angeles Chargers, scoring on our first drive of the second half. What a play by Jalen Waddle after the catch to juke out that corner. Was that Derwin James who he juked out? What a throw by Tua Tagovailoa as he hits him in stride. Jalen Waddle jukes out Derwin James, just running to the right side. Tua Tagovailoa celebrating with Teron Armstead in the background. You love to see it. J.C. Treader dapping up Mike McDaniel as well as Jalen Waddle. What a play by Jalen Waddle on Derwin James. Jason Sanders makes the kick, and we go up 28-14, doubling up the Chargers. We need to make sure we stay in it. We were this close from this game being tied 21-21 at the end of the second half. Honestly, it just took a missed throw from Justin Herbert. Without that, honestly, it's a tie game. So we definitely need to stay locked in because they can come back at any moment, especially with both of their receivers and Justin Herbert. So our defense needs to stay locked in as we do a great job on the kick return to stop him at the 16-yard line. As let's continue with Javon Holland coming back onto the field, leading this defense. Going to use him over the top of the field, over the middle, kind of monitoring everything deep. I have no idea where Mike Williams is. He's blocking on that right side, and they go back to Austin Eckler, who continues to do pretty well on the ground. 7 rushes for 48 yards and a touchdown, running this cover 2 man here, as Javon Holland will help on this left side with Keenan Allen and Josh Palmer. We have Eric Rowe on Mike Williams, I believe, as they go right back to the ground, and a great tackle there from Channing Tindall. That is an awesome play, as I don't even know, is that even Mike Williams on that other side? Okay, guys, so I wanted to check to make sure, because I knew I was tripping, because I was like, I know Mike Williams is not 83, but it is kind of his build on the side. He looks way more like juiced, but maybe because Madden's player models are obviously ass, so I had no idea what to think, and obviously I'm thinking Mike Williams is there. So 83 is actually Eric Ebron, which makes sense. He was always lined up in-line blocking. So I was like, that's why I just checked just now after the play you just saw, because I was like, no way that's Mike Williams, because I haven't seen him on the field. Turns out Mike Williams is actually hurt. He is injured, and he is not coming into this game, as he's an 87 overall receiver out of the game, and that's why they have a guy like Dante Pettis, number 14, and Josh Palmer on the field, and they're doing fine with Keenan Allen, who's a 95 overall as well, and Josh Palmer. But that's a huge injury to the Los Angeles Chargers that I just realized, because that makes it so that Mike Williams and Jalen Guyton are both injured. So that's again why they have Dante Pettis and Josh Palmer up there in the depth chart, and why Eric Ebron is lining up at receiver sometimes, which tripped me up because he's here for wide receiver, because Mike Williams and Jalen Guyton are both injured. So two of their top receivers are injured. Mike Williams, a big miss and a big loss for them as an 87 overall, kind of like what we had to deal with last week with Teron Armstead being out, one of their primary 85 plus overalls being out. So that is why you are not seeing Mike Williams in this game. I knew I was tripping, and I knew it was weird, as Dante Pettis continues to do well anyway in Mike Williams' spot, but I knew it was weird that Mike Williams was not in the game and I didn't notice him at all, because Mike Williams makes himself noticed, trust me, with his size and with his ability. So I knew there was a reason why, and that is why, because he is hurt and so he's not on the field at all. A great tackle there from Jerome Baker on that 1st and 10 play from the Chargers, but figured while I go check, I might as well show you. So that is why you are not seeing Mike Williams or Jalen Guyton, because I even knew, as did our guy go past the line of scrimmages? Yes, he did. It is offsides on us, which will make it 2nd and 5 for the Los Angeles Chargers, as it was Eric Rowe on the outside. I have no idea what he's doing over there. Please keep track of yourself, as we will use your Brandon Jones over here onto Eric Ebron, and we'll use your Channing Tindall on Austin Eckler as he goes on a route, and a good tackle there from Brandon Jones. But I knew it was weird that I wasn't noticing Mike Williams, so that's why. And it was kind of weird when Josh Palmer was on the field at all, just based on overalls, but it is what it is. Keenan Allen has been doing his thing, as we will use your Jerome Baker on this blitz, trying to put pressure on Justin Herbert, as Javon Holland makes the tackle on Eric Ebron. They still do get 5 yards or 4 yards on that play, as we will continue with this cover one. Going to use your Eric Rowe on this DB blitz, seeing if he can get pressure late on Justin Herbert, if we can do a great job covering, as we are trying to get to the quarterback, but unfortunately does find Keenan Allen, and that's a great tackle from Brandon Jones on Keenan Allen, as Keenan Allen continues to be incredible as Justin Herbert's kind of safety net, as he has 69 yards, nice, and 5 receptions. Going to continue with that cover one. I would like it more if Xavier Howard was on Keenan Allen, but I guess that's not the case, as he will go right back to Keenan Allen, and he makes another catch, as those two continue to have incredible chemistry. And it makes sense that Justin Herbert would be going to him a lot, especially with Mike Williams out of the game. It just makes sense. Brandon Jones over the middle here as they run a stretch to the left, and we do not have the blockers. Maybe we do, but Brandon Jones cannot make the tackle, and that makes it 28-21. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown on the ground for the Los Angeles Chargers, and that makes it a 1-score game as they try and come back, only down by 7 now after that extra point. 28-21 for your Miami Dolphins. So still important that we do well on both sides of the ball. We still need to keep on putting some points up, because even without Mike Williams, this Chargers offense is dangerous. Continuing to give the ball to Chase Edmonds, just because he does deserve it in every sense of the word. Hopefully we get some good blocks, as Robert Hunt finds a hole up the middle. If we could have just found a way to stay upright, we could have been gone for a long play. Justin Herbert talking to Austin Eckler on the sideline, as we will run this Z-spot play. Going to keep using Tua's arm here, as we do have Tyreek Hill with his X-Factor lit up, and Jalen Waddle on those slants. We also have Edmonds as that receiving option underneath. As let's see who gets open. It's out Mike Gesicki down the field, as he comes back for the aggressive catch, and he makes a nice catch, as that's a great throw from Tua. I did see Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle underneath, but I did like what I saw with Mike Gesicki a little bit further down the field, as Tua taking a shot there when he usually doesn't have to. That's something that's very uncommon for me and Tua Tagovailoa, as we will run the ball with Sony Michel to the outside, but unfortunately they do a great job to get the tackle, as that was going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, but there is an injury timeout for the slot corner, I believe, for the Chargers this year in Michael Davis, because they have J.C. Jackson out there as well. Let's see what happens here. We'll give the ball to Raheem Mostert. Joey Bosa blows up Durham Smythe and makes the tackle in the backfield. And that makes it 3rd and 15. But that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter and to the start of the clutch 4th quarter. Those are the stats by the end of the 3rd quarter. Very similar in a lot of ways, very dissimilar in a lot of ways. We have used the run game a lot more than they have, as we do have a 3rd and 15 play, and I don't know what play I want to run for this 3rd and 13. We don't find ourselves in this place, or in this position, too often. We're going to run this play, see if Tyreek or Waddle can get open down the field. maybe Mike Gesicki, and then we have 2 options underneath as well. He will step up in the pocket. Jalen Waddle beats his man. So did Tyreek Hill. They both beat their man. And Jalen Waddle goes down the field with a touchdown. Let's go. The man on my jersey. Again, I'm going to keep mentioning that. Jalen Waddle punches back with another touchdown for the Miami Dolphins as we keep dominating down the field. I have no idea what's happening with the Chargers secondary. What's happening to Derwin James and J.C. Jackson? What are they doing back there? What a throw from Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not going to lie, we had both receivers open. Tyreek burned his guy too. I just saw Jalen Waddle first, and just my instinct threw to Jalen Waddle just because he was in the middle of the field instead of all the way on the left side, just to make it a little bit easier of a throw for Tua Tagovailoa, as that's an awesome play to punch right back to the Los Angeles Chargers to go right back up 14. As that play at the end of the first half continues to pay dividends for this Miami Dolphins team, just because think about what happens if instead of that interception, the Chargers put up 7 and they tie the game 21-21. This game is drastically different if Javon Holland does not get that interception. So it's so important, and that's such an important play at the end of the half to make sure that Javon Holland gets that interception so we stick with the lead instead of being tied, because that changes the complexity of the game so much. As Jerome Baker, for some reason, faces the quarterback, and it is Dante Pettis with the first down, as the Chargers want to drive down the field and put up some points here. As you'll run this dime, cover 1, contain, using Javon Holland over the top. Dante Pettis for 2 receptions and 42 yards. As they are definitely throwing it as it's an empty backfield. Josh Palmer continues to do well. Nick Needham can't make the tackle, but Javon Holland does come down for the tackle. Let's run this cover 4 draw play, as you are only rushing 3, so hopefully that doesn't bite us in the ass here. Using Channing Tindall coming over just in case they do run the ball. They are passing the ball because they know that's what they have to do, as Austin Eckler is wide open underneath, and that's a great tackle from both of our inside linebackers in Channing Tindall and Jerome Baker, as they only want us to run basically predominantly dime coverages, which I guess makes sense to keep everything in front of us, but I feel like we're letting them get yards underneath a little too easily, so let's go right back to a normal cover 3, as he does have someone open underneath, but Justin Herbert misses Keenan Allen open underneath. I have no idea how he's missing these guys so easily. Let's go right back to Brandon Jones over the middle, running this cover 1 type play, as they do run the ball with a halfback draw with Austin Eckler, but I think he does a great job to try and reach for that first down, as that makes it 4th and 1, and they are going to kick a field goal. I do feel like in real life this is a play they would go for, so that's a very interesting call from the Chargers coaching staff. I do hate that they are kicking a field goal kind of, because it does feel like in real life they would go for it, as they do make the kick. So as Dustin Hopkins does make the kick, so who am I to complain about their decision making? They choose to go down 11 instead of trying to go for it on that 4th and 1. Who am I to judge their decisions as they think they can stop this offense? So why should I tell them they can't? As River Craycraft jukes back and does a great job to get back to the 25-yard line. That's a very nice juke from the returner. As Tua Tagovailoa will come back onto the field, and we are going to choose some clock here, and we are going to run the hell out of this ball. Just playing strategically, man, as this has been pretty much a shootout. I'm not going to stop mentioning it just because it continues to be such a huge play in this game. That play by Javon Holland at the end of the half really saved the game. It really switched momentum towards us and really gave us the opportunity to win this game, because who knows what happens if Justin Herbert converts on that touchdown at the end of the half. As Chase Edmonds continues to run very well, 9 rushes for 93 yards and a touchdown. He's up 3rd and 2, and we're going to run this halfback base play to the right side, not the left side, with Connor Williams running over and pulling over instead of Robert Hunt, as he does a great job to make a block, and Chase Edmonds does a great job to cut it back. 10 rushes for 103 yards for Chase Edmonds. As we continue to chew this clock, I am not taking a shot. Please give me a run play. I do not want to pass the ball. It makes no sense to, as this has been a lot of the run game. Going right back to Raheem Mostert if we can get some good blocks here, as we do get 4 yards on that play to bring up 2nd and 6, and we're going to continue to run the ball. Let's run this halfback mid-draw just to think we might throw it finally, but we're actually just going to fake the pass and run this draw play to Chase Edmonds as we get good blocks. As Chase Edmonds powers through for a couple extra yards, 11 rushes for 105 yards, 3rd and 4, and now we'll go back to this underplay with a bunch of routes underneath, which obviously refers to the name of the play. Hopefully someone gets open here as we step up in the pocket. R1 is open. Jalen Waddle gets the first down, and a great job from Tua in the pocket to hold his ground, step up, and make the easy throw to Jalen Waddle. That's a huge first down that might have ended this game. I hate chewing clock. It might make it a little bit boring, but it just makes sense. This is just strategic play, strategic gameplay. Chase Edmonds getting the ball. Robert Hunt getting a nice block. Andrew Tranquill trying to strip Chase Edmonds of the rock, but unfortunately for them, he can't. as you'll go right back to the run to the left with Raheem Mostert on this halfback stretch play. And this will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They should have went for it on that 4th down, but unfortunately I cannot control that. Raheem Mostert jukes back in, and he is going down the field as we do get a bunch of yards as we are on the 11-yard line. And that will be the last play before the 2-minute warning, as that will bring us to the 2-minute warning with this game. 2 minutes left in this game, 35-24 for your Miami Dolphins to make the Super Bowl final. Chase Edmonds getting the ball on the ground here. Please do not fumble the ball, Chase. Just make sure you run conservatively. Don't fumble the ball as he cuts it back. And again, just been a cutback machine this game, as now the Chargers are finally calling timeouts, but they have to score twice when they get the ball back, so it's going to be tough for them. Let's give the ball to Jalen Waddle on a jet sweep. Maybe they are not ready for it because they think we are running the ball, which technically we are running the ball, just in a different way, as Jalen Waddle will motion over. Let's see what happens here. Can he get to the edge? No, we can't. Does he juke back in? As I juke back in just to get a couple yards, as that did bring us back to the 9-yard line. And honestly, I might still run the ball here just because I want to confirm that they used that last timeout. So we will just give the ball to Sony Michel on this 3rd and 8, because then we can kick a field goal, go up 38-24, which is up 14 points, and he scored 2 touchdowns in how long? And so Michel had a hole open, but unfortunately he couldn't burst through fast enough to get to the 2nd level and score a touchdown. As we will kick a field goal, and now it is all on the Chargers to try and score 2 touchdowns with 1 minute and 48 seconds left with no timeouts. As the field goal kick is good. Jason Sanders has been perfect this game. You love to see that from the kicker, who struggled a little bit in clutch time in the regular season, as that is an awesome kick for him. 38-24 for your Miami Dolphins, as we have done a great job holding the Chargers, bending but not breaking, holding them to 24 points, and our offense has just dominated. Tua Tagovailoa has really shown up this playoffs. Obviously that 1 interception hurts, but he's just shown up. As you will put some pressure on Justin Herbert. We know he's throwing the ball, so we want to keep some pressure on him. We trust our corners and our safeties and our DBs, as he does throw underneath to Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer breaks a tackle, but Xavier Howard does get back, as he will go right into the hurry-up Iverson because he cannot get out of bounds. Just run this corner blitz play, see if Xavier Howard can get to the quarterback, as he lets his guy Eckler's open underneath. Justin Herbert just lobs it up to Dante Pettis, and unfortunately for them, Brandon Jones makes a great play on the ball as he swats the ball away. Justin Herbert just slung that up the field. Slung, is that even a word? Sling in the past tense? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Javon Holland underneath as they continue to try and go quickly here down the field as he goes to Austin Eckler underneath. And a good tackle there, never mind, by Brandon Jones, as Austin Eckler has broken so many tackles out of the backfield. Running this cover 2, trying to contain pressure, using Javon Holland over the middle, just because in case they go over the middle. And he has a receiver wide open on the sideline, which is really important, as it is Gabe Neighbors with the catch down the field, as he has been integral to the Chargers offense. He has 3 receptions for 47 yards, continuing to send heat here, just because we know that they have to score 2 touchdowns, using Zach Sealer underneath, and they throw to an offensive lineman down the field, and we cannot make a catch on him, and he goes all the way down to the 5-yard line. An offensive lineman making a catch there. What the hell? As he's still going out on a route, as Justin Herbert trying to make a throw, and a great tackle there from Byron Jones, and that might be the end of the game, as they are trying to get a playoff. I'm trying to make sure that we run a blitz here, as they run a pass play. Justin Herbert rolling out to his right. We cannot get pressure. We cannot finish the sack. Jalen Phillips finishes off the game, and that'll be the end of the game. Jalen Phillips finishes the game with a sack. What a perfect ending. Jalen Phillips sacking Justin Herbert to end the game, and your Miami Dolphins are off to the Super Bowl to play the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I believe we played them earlier this year. I'm pretty sure we beat them. But wow, what a game from Tua Tagovailoa, and the Miami Dolphins dapping up with Justin Herbert. They're taking a picture, which seems very weird. I feel like Herbert would be mad. You'd think maybe he was going for the tie again. Who knows? As we win 38-24, he had 338 passing yards. We only had 267, but we had 200 rushing yards, and we limited them to under 100 rushing yards, even though they had Austin Eckler, who was running great. That was the difference in this game. Tua Tagovailoa pumping up the crowd because we are headed to the Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa with another insane performance. 286 yards, 12 for 15. He only threw the ball 15 times, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Justin Herbert, 26 for 34, 360 yards. But those 2 interceptions from Justin Herbert is bringing his passing rating down a bunch. Great job from Justin Herbert. Rushing-wise, it was the rushing show for the Miami Dolphins. Chase Edmonds was amazing, 8.7 average, 114 yards and a touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 84 yards. Austin Eckler didn't even do that bad, but they were forced to throw the ball a bunch at the end. 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did great. Receiving-wise, it was Jalen Waddle with 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill with 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike McDaniel just scheming up an offense that no one can stop. the thing you have to realize is people can stop one Tyreek Hill, and now we have two, and no one can stop it. It's broken because we have two of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and we have one of them going underneath, one of them going deep. It's so hard to stop. Keenan Allen played great. Josh Palmer had a good game. Austin Eckler, Eric Ebron, Dante Pettis. This would have been a very different game if Mike Williams was here. Let me mention that while we're in the wide receiver section. This definitely would be a very different game for your Miami Dolphins if Mike Williams was in the game, because imagine what Herbert could do if he had basically two Keenan Allens, two wide receiver, one type people. So that's honestly such a big help, and that is what kind of helped us win the game. To be honest, if he was in the game, who knows what would have happened? We might have lost. As we will go right into the defense. Sacks-wise, it is Khalil Mack and Jalen Phillips. Interceptions-wise, it is Nasir Adderley with the interception on Tua Tagovailoa, but Javon Holland having two on Justin Herbert. Kicking-wise, both kickers were perfect. Jason Sanders 1 for 1 from the field goal and the extra points. He went 5 for 5. Dustin Hopkins 1 for 1 and 3 for 3. So the kickers, it was perfect from them. But the Dolphins do win 38-24, and we are off to our first Super Bowl, which is awesome. As with this episode coming to the end, we will simulate to the Pro Bowl. I might as well show you that just to end this game, just because I don't want to upload a video just for the Pro Bowl, as we will just view the Pro Bowl roster, because we will not have any Dolphins in here because we are in the Super Bowl. But it is Patrick Mahomes, Mac Jones, and Justin Herbert for the AFC. Justin Herbert, because he did not make the Super Bowl, and it's Mac Jones and Patty Mahomes, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, and Kyler Murray for the NFC. Zeke, Kamara, McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, and Najee Harris for the AFC. Fullback-wise, it is Juszczyk, CJ Ham, Wesko, and Janovich. Wide receiver-wise, is Evans, Hopkins, Ridley, Gallup, Godwin, and Marquise Brown. For the AFC, it's Christian Kirk, Tyler Boyd, Stephon Diggs, Julio Jones, Keenan Allen, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Very interesting names for the AFC. Jared Cook, Adam Trautman, and Logan Thomas for the NFC. Jordan, Eric Ebron, and Travis Kelce for the AFC. For the offensive line position, we have Tyron Williams and Tyron Smith, both the Tyrons for the NFC. Laramie Tunsil and Ronnie Stanley for the AFC. Justin Pugh and Andrew Norwell, Quentin Nelson, and Joe Tooney for the Chiefs. Creed Humphrey, another fellow Chief, and Corey Linsley, another Charger, and Frank Ragnow, and Hudson. Right guard wise, Zach Martin, Wyatt Teller, Smith, and Shaq Mason for the right guard. For the right tackle, we have Trent Brown and Lyle Collins, who was actually a candidate for us for the Miami Dolphins in free agency. Tristan Wirfs and Lane Johnson. For defensively, now we have DeMarcus Lawrence, J.J. Watt, Sam Hubbard, and Myles Garrett. Chandler Jones, Aaron Donald, Kamiko Toure, and Von Miller. Defensive tackle-wise, interior defensive line-wise, Jonathan Allen, DeForest Buckner, Collins, and Arik Armstead, as well as Grover Stewart and Larry Ogunjobi. Shaq Barrett, Joey Bosa, Shaq Thompson, and Tyus Bowser, who played amazing as we looked at the stats in that 17.5 episode. Levante David, Foyusada Luakun, Miles Jack, Fred Warner, Hassan Reddick, Khalil Mack, Micah Parsons, Bradley Chubb, AJ Bouye, Ronald Darby, Chandler Sullivan, Patrick Surtain, L'Jarius Sneed, Nicole Roby Coleman making the Pro Bowl, Sean Murphy Bunting, and Tre'Davious White. Safeties wise, it is Quandre Diggs, Kevin Byard, Jabril Peppers, and Antoine Winfield. Buda Baker, Jordan Poyer, Derwin James, and Jamal Adams for the strong safety position. And then kicker and punter wise, it was actually Matt Gay and Rodrigo Blankenship. And punter wise, it was Barry and Roberto Sanchez, or whatever his name is. And then for the returners, for the kick returner, it's Deontay Harris and Kenyon Drake. And then it's Coulter and Tylan Wallace. And that is your 2022 Pro Bowl roster for this year. And we are headed, as you'll simulate, to next week. We are headed to play a Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. We have a bunch of activities to take care of, especially because we are in the playoffs, going up against the Packers. They went 13-4. We went 14-3, so only a one-game difference in our record. They have an 88 overall defense, so do we. Our offense is just a little bit better, as they did just lose Devontae Adams, but they do have Aaron Rodgers and all of that type of stuff. Next week, we will be going over the yearly awards, the Super Bowl Media Day, all this type of stuff, a bunch of stuff to get to before the Super Bowl, so that will be really fun. That will be one of the funnest episodes ever, as we are in the Super Bowl in our first year, and we will be going through all of that in tomorrow's episode. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.